Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people. My name is Martin Moregi, and today, Tuesday, April 14th, 2020, I'm coming to you live on YouTube, and I'm gonna be reading to you another letter. That's why I'm coming to you live today. I've been doing this series. If you haven't been watching, I've been doing this series where I've been reading letters from this book. All the letters were written by a gentleman as known by the name Ted L. Nancy. And I started reading this book a while ago. Actually, I'm going to say maybe almost 3 months ago. And then I gave up on it. I found it over here where I live. I live in Boulder, Colorado. And where I live, they have this small little, I can't remember what they call them, like, I guess a library. I can't remember the name of it, like tiny library. They call them tiny libraries, and they're set up outside different neighborhoods, and you can go over there, put a book, pick a book, leave a book. And I found this one over there, I believe, and I wanted to return it. And then this whole Corona stuff hit, this COVID quarantine, the Rona, stay at home, and so I decided to start to read this whole book and make a video. That was the original purpose of it, and then I had the another bigger purpose came out of it when I was doing the first few letters. I realized that letter writing is really a underutilized form of communication, especially when you're trying to communicate with people who you do not have their phone numbers, people who do not know you personally or even professionally. So in these books or in this book, we have gotten or have I have gotten to read letters where this gentleman, Mr. Ted L. Nancy, has written to different casinos, sporting clubs, baseball clubs, I believe a football club too, and all for different things. A few letters he's written requesting for a service. Others he's written, the last few that I've read have been about him looking for work. And now this next chapter is called Thank You, with a small subtitle. A big thank you is certainly in order. I don't know if you can read it. You can see, yeah, there's the thank you, and you can see a big thank you is certainly in order. And so this next few letters, I don't know how many there'll be, are all about gratitude. I believe that's what, just skimming what I can tell from the heading, they're all about gratitude. And so this is another reason to write letters, is to show your gratitude. And I've been using this envelope as a bookmark, and I ended up I've been planning to use this to send my first letter that I've sent in over a decade, and I've been waiting to get inspired to find someone who I can write to, an organization, an institution. And a few days ago, I got inspired, and I ended up writing a name over there. As you can see, that's Dana White. If you follow the UFC or into mixed martial arts, you probably know who Dana White is. If you do not know, he's the president of the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which is currently my favorite sporting event. I have a YouTube channel called A Casual's Perspective, where I predict fights. And even on this channel, if you go on my earlier videos, you'll find where I started predicting videos before I decided to have my a separate channel apart from this one. You can go and see a few videos where I predicted fights. Anyway, it's almost 5 minutes into the video. Today's letter, it's to Ballys, Ballys Hotel and Casino. It was written on July 13th, 1995. It was addressed to the customer relations, 3645 Las Vegas Boulevard, South Las Vegas, Nevada. 8189109. Today I'm drinking water. My good old friend. Anyway, this is what Mr. Ted L. Nancy wrote. Dear Customer Relations Department, I would just like to say what a pleasant experience your housekeeping department was during my recent stay. Usually, people have complaints about maid service, but I want to praise the fine men and women of housekeeping. Every day, there were fresh towels and sheets in my room. The housekeeping people were courteous in respecting my do not disturb or now for maid service sign on my door. One day, the minute I had turned my son over from do not disturb to maid service please, the cleaning girl was right there. There wasn't a wait of 15 seconds before she was at my door with her ammonias and washcloths. It was like she was a big cat outside, ready to prance at the moment my sign was turned around. My room was cleaned within moments, and I was free to start messing it up again by 10:30 in the morning. Thank you, Ballys, for a most wonderful experience in the maid department. The housekeeping staff was the most efficient I have ever seen. I asked for clean towels on a daily basis, and there they were. There was always soaps and toilet paper and shampoos. Every day, I also noticed that small soap slivers were not removed but put aside on the tab. Very good, very good. I use this. Thanks again, Ted L. Nancy. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, good people. This letter is another example of another well-written letter and another example of a different letter to write, a gratitude letter. And this one he's thanking the customer service, mainly some people who are gone. Usually we don't think of them or think to thank them or even give them tips sometimes. The maid cleaning service. On some hotels, sometimes, people leave tips, but to be honest, I've never done it. I've never written a thank you note for them making my bed when I was staying in a hotel, or them changing the bathroom towels, the toilet paper. I've never thought of doing that. And maybe you have, maybe you have not. If you have not, maybe it's time, especially if you use hotels a lot and this time of self isolation. What is it called? Quarantine, stay at home. I don't know what to call it, good people. I've been going out every now and then. I have to. I cannot stay in the house. I don't have all the resources I need to afford staying in the house all day, all week, all month. Anyway, another good reason to write letters, good people, is usually if you write to an institution, they'll reply to you with that. You see that letterhead over there says Ballys Casino, Ballys Las Vegas, and has the name of the vice president of hotel operations just below it. And so Ballys wrote back to Mr. Ted L. Nancy about a month later on August 12th, 1995. And this is what they wrote. This is what they replied. This is what they had to say about his experience and his letter thanking the maid and cleaning services. Dear Mr. Nancy, thank you so much for your letter, which I received on July 20th, in which you informed us of how pleased you were with our housekeeping department. A copy of your letter has been forwarded to our director of housekeeping so she can share the accolades on her staff. It is truly delightful to receive such a nice letter, and I want you to know we really appreciate it. If I can ever be of any assistance to you in the future, please feel free to contact my office. Sincerely, Fritz Ubler. Copy, K. Weyrick, Director of Housekeeping. That's the reply, good people. And as on many occasions, as you've gotten to see if you've been watching this video, oh yeah, please subscribe. I didn't urge you to subscribe. If you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, share, comment. Tell me what you liked about it. Anyway, on this letter, as on many previous ones, Mr. Ted L. Nancy got a reply, and not only did he get a reply, he got more than just a reply. He got a reply from the Vice President of Hotel Operations, who was generous enough to tell him, hey, next time you're over at my hotel and you need anything, do not hesitate to call. And he copied the Director of Housekeeping so that she could read the letter to her staff. And they could be even more encouraged to see that their work does not go unrecognized. Like that's one of the things that humans crave most is appreciation. And I remember my first time probably even asking for it. And my parents were I felt probably very cruel with their answer when I told them I wanted to be appreciated more, even though I wasn't performing well in school. And they told me, yo, it's your job to appreciate yourself. No, but sometimes it's good to show appreciation, I also remember that you might not get the appreciation you want. So it's always good to give appreciation to somebody else. Give what you need to somebody else and you'll feel better about yourself. I think that's a philosophy I should follow. I'm trying to follow. I don't know, good people. It's probably a philosophy somewhere in the Bible or in some ancient book or ancient text. Do what unto others what you'll have them do unto you. Something like that. Something like that, good people. Anyway, that was Mr. Ted L. Nancy's reply from Ballys, and he got the phone number. If he didn't have the phone number, they gave him the phone number too. And everybody is happy and glad that the vice president of the hotel operations, he's happy that his housekeeping service is being recognized by a customer. The housekeeping service are glad that a customer appreciates their service. And Mr. Ted L. Nancy is happy and glad and grateful of the good services he receives at Ballys Hotel and Casino, and also for the reply. So, good people, write a letter to your favorite artist, to your favorite author, to your favorite musician, to your favorite person, whoever it may be. Write them a letter, say thanks, ask them for a job, ask them a question. So hope you all have a good day. I hope you all have a good night. Hope you all stay blessed and healthy. I hope your families stay healthy and healthy. Stay blessed and healthy too. And I've been finishing these videos with something personal, a personal fact about myself. And I don't know if it's a fact or I guess there's something personal about me. And today's personal thing about me, I'm trying to think. I'll start thinking about what to say before I make the video, so I don't have to think and think and think. Oh yeah, probably said that, but I love reading good people, and one of the things that a habit that I've been trying to develop is reading at least one chapter of a book every day. Some days I've actually gone some days without reading a chapter, and some days I've gone and finished, a whole book or almost close to a whole book. But I try to read every day. I try to write notes from usually if you read, you're usually gonna come across a sentence, a word, a paragraph that impresses me or impresses you. It's and I feel I always feel obligated to write it down if it's a word that I don't know or I've come across before, but I don't know the meaning, the definition of it. I write it down, look it up, the definition, and write down the definition too. Anyway, that's something personal about me. I like reading. Right now, I'm reading this book called King Peggy. It's about this lady Peggy Bartlett. Peggy Lynn Battels, not Bartlett, Battels, and she's a Ghanaian. She was a Ghanaian American, and was working in the Ghanaian embassy in the U.S. Probably worked for over a decade over there or so. And around 2008, 2007, she got appointed as the king of her village back home in in Ghana. Otuam, that's the village she's from. It's called Otuam, and she's from the Fante tribe, and she was elected the king. And so the book is about her getting elected, getting keeping her job as the secretary, and going trying to handle all these things, the politics, the chauvinism of being a king in with a a female king with all male council and people, all kinds of people to deal with. Especially in a place like Ghana, a place like Africa, where her village doesn't have running water. Running water is a luxury, probably a few stores in town, no bank. So it's quite a story, quite a inspiring, quite a challenging story, quite a. I'm trying to think of other adjectives I could use. Right now, I'm drawing a blank, but it's a good book. So if you can read it, read it. If you've read it, I bet you loved it. Probably. Anyway, leave me a comment over there. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Adios. Oh yeah, tell me what book you're reading too. If you're reading a book, tell me what book you're reading. Comment below. Thank you for watching. My name is Martin Imorage Wamureidi, and I'll be back tomorrow on the 15th Wednesday with another letter from Mr. Ted L. Nancy. Adios, good people. Good night. Good morning. Good evening.